we unfortunately had a special needs student get off campus and he drowned in a swimming pool.
Okay.
And that's just something that should never happen again, and there should never be anything like that to ever happen. And so RFID, we've incorporated it for high school. We would have like little lanyards that would have like a little badge on it with an RFID chip that would get scanned every time you walk in or out of the classroom, so it could virtually take your attendance.
Let's talk about your project. So the Clinton House?
Yes, sir. We're from Fayetteville, so they lived there because he was governor.
Yeah.
So they had their house there, and the museum. They came to us during our East Side Out project, or our East Side Out day, and she told us that she needed help with it. We put it up on a kiosk, which is like Google Chrome based, and it's touchscreen. It was super easy to use, and I hyperlinked it and made it to where you can present it to anybody.
So has this spurred any other ideas for the Clinton House that you guys have come up with and maybe approached them about, hey, we'd like to do this for the Clinton House also?
The garden. She has a garden with every First Lady's flower.
Oh, cool.
And I want to, we missed the springtime last year to be able to do it. So this year I'm going to go in, I'm going to record it for her to be able to show it off.
That's cool.
That's really
It's
cool.
a really good
what a
idea.
neat idea. Yeah.
We had a lack of student enthusiasm, and there weren't a bunch of people showing up to outside activities like football games and basketball games, soccer games. So we found out that in order to find out when games were, students would have to go onto the website individually and would get lost in all the tabs in order to find out the schedules. So we just cut straight to the games, and so we spread awareness and set up like posters advertising a Twitter account in which all the student body could follow, and we upload snapshots of telling you when the game is, where it is, who we're playing for almost every sport.
We're working on a project called GrubbTime. It's like a Castlevania Mario clone.
Okay.
Where
I'm with you.
He's got to save
That's
the school.
old school, man.
Yeah, I like old games. He's got to save the school from robots trying to take over the school.
Nice.
I've been involved in a cleanup planning day. That would be on March the 30th, 2019.
Okay.
Basically, it's talking about that we would go around Clarendon picking up trash, and we're doing a recycling project in our classroom about like bins and stuff. And my project was over trash bins.
Okay.
Like cans, paper, and all of that. Then on top of that, we're doing a community garden. We have a community garden at Clarendon High School. It's like 2 miles away from the school. And we go down there mostly like once a week.
Yeah.
And we basically plant like fruits, vegetables, stuff. In our classroom, we got a picture on our presentation. And they kind of like donuts, but they really not. They plants. And we plant in the classroom is tomatoes, jalapeno peppers, zucchini, and zucchini squash.
Yeah.
We go into the east. We go into, no, not the east, but the special needs classroom, and we explain how to use technology. So one day it might be Tinkercad, or the next day it might be what we call Brush Ninja, which is kind of a place where you can make your own GIFs. GIFs, actually, where you can make your own GIFs. And we might do Google Docs one day, Google Slides the other, anything that we think that they'll love.
Making a VR simulator that stimulates driving drunk in Unity, and we're going to showcase that before our prom.
Oh, cool. Yeah, that's a good place. Yeah. Get it in their heads.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, don't be crazy and drink.
So when you showcase this, are you going to actually have other students put it on
Yes,
and
sir.
try it out?
During lunch, we had 3 lunch shifts, so we plan to have pretty much every senior do it before prom, which I think is a good idea.
Me and my group are working on making these boxes that are going to have non-perishable foods and clothes and just anything that they would need that wouldn't be harmful towards them. And we're also going to have them in a box somewhere where they can find them easily and get to it without having to use a car and just get what they need. We are hopefully going to have a weight system in it so we can tell what's being used more, so we can put that thing in there more.
Oh, cool.
Oh, yeah, that's a good idea.
That's a good use of technology to kind of figure out what's leaving and coming in and out. Yeah, that'd be really neat.
The leadership team also is a good experience for me to meet the East crew and get behind the scenes of how they run East Initiative and run this conference, and the great connection that each of them have together and how they work together as a team.
And I actually work at a machine shop right now through East, because East got me introduced into the career technical education. I started doing this. I now have a NIMS level 1 machining certification. I work in a machine shop now. I make $15 an hour, which is pretty good for a high school kid.
Yeah.
And so it's a lot of fun, because then I can take it and I can start working.
Historic Cane Hill, their Cane Hill College was the first college to accept women in Arkansas. And their bank also, we've been 3D printing and with the Cane Hill College and the Cane Hill Bank. And so what we did is we used SketchUp. Another is we've been working with the Cane Hills Farmers Market as well to make logos. So many kids, they made logos for the farmers market.
My project was an anti-bullying video and based off of true experiences. And so from 2 schools that I went to, I've come from being the shy kid that would think that people were playing along with me, pushing me around. Even guys would come up to me and hit me and all that. And so I've come from letting people bully me to showing off who I am right now.
Yeah.
I feel like we need to teach kids a little bit more about these computer-related careers they can follow.
Probably my favorite is 3D printing the school of the mapping our school. Well, we thought we could make a visual for them to look at, and we've labeled every single room so they can go to each room of our school. We've also done the first and second floor already.
And in the future, we want to use the Oculus Rift to take a virtual tour of the school too.
So we've created a program called Coding Takes Flight, and basically we are introducing girls at a young age, 3rd through 5th grade, to STEM activities by utilizing basic coding concepts and drone flight patterns using grade level math and science.
So we pretty much just want to get them started into this. This coding and technology is basically just thought of as boys. We're trying to get that, change that focus, that saying, girls, you can do this too. Try to let them see if they start this young, they can start doing it when they're older and maybe even pursue careers after college.
I'm extremely proud of our sports introduction videos this year. Let me tell you, these are great videos that we've been doing per the request of our athletic department to really showcase the projects and programs, that we have at our school, to really showcase all of our great athletics, because all of our sports teams are doing so fantastic this year.
Currently part of the leadership team, so I'm being a representative for Lamar in the best way possible.
Yeah, cool. Are you having fun doing the leadership stuff?
Yeah, actually I've enjoyed it. It's pretty awesome being able to help people in several different ways.
Yeah.
Because I'm part of the tech support team, so I'm supposed to be able to help with people's technology because it's everywhere here. Everybody has computers to set up, 3D printers, their virtual reality headsets. You have to be able to think on your feet to go okay, you have this issue coming up. I got to figure out a resolve to try to help them.
My project is called Breakfast at the Round Table, and it's a tutoring program for the 5th grade students that need help in math.
So there was a bunch of money given to, in 2014, there was a bunch of money given to the Boys and Girls Clubs of Arkansas. Since then, it's lowered down a lot, so not as many, and the money was for kids who are less fortunate and can't pay for that to go to the Boys and Girls Club. So we decided to raise money for the Boys and Girls Club. So we thought of an idea of a raffle or fundraiser, and we called it Lunch on Us. And during our lunch times, we sold 50-cent tickets to our peers, and we ended up raising $295 for the Boys and Girls Club.
Well, that's awesome.
Man, that's a lot of 50 cents.
That's a lot of 50 cents. That's a lot of 50 cents. That's pretty cool. So with the reduction in funds that they were disappearing, you guys were able to help make some money for them so they could continue to do these things. That's really cool.
Our project is a rehabilitation app for occupational therapy students.
Okay.
And what it's going to do is it's going to strengthen their visual motor skills. With they're going to use hand-eye coordination, and it's going to strengthen them skills.
Okay, cool.
So, go ahead.
The occupational therapy students, they suffer from, or they have trouble with visual motor integration caused by limited acuity, visual perception deficits, and or a poor fine motor or gross ability.
And what it is it's trying to use the eyes, the minds, and the hands effectively together. So it's like hand-eye coordination. So what we decided to do was create a rehabilitation app that allows the students to engage in a virtual environment, and we have them in the app. Like, after learning the controls, the first step is they try to catch a ball, and then they move on to picking up a tennis racket. And what we're doing is we try to get them to where they throw the ball up and hit it with the tennis racket into a target on the wall.
Girls 9 through 12, that's our high school, I started a program for called Making More Mentors. And so what I do is I bring women in from our workforce and our community, and I bring them into our school, and based off their occupation, I hand select a group of girls with similar interests to that occupation. And so once a month, I have a woman come in, and with a group of girls, she gets to talk to those girls about her occupation, her life, the path that she took to get to that occupation, and those girls then just get to form a relationship with her. Yeah. And it's super laid back. It's basically just a conversation. We have cookies, we eat lunch in our East room, and it's just a really cool opportunity for girls to be able to make connections.
Playground Sensory Project, and we're trying to we have got approval from our principal, and we're going to lay down during the summer some black bouncy turf so it's easier for kids with sensory issues to walk on, and to replace the rocks. And we're also going to say, for instance, the game Twister or Hopscotch, paint that down on our sidewalk if you don't want to play on the playground at all.
I want to put a vending machine in our school, like healthy snacks. So if you don't want to buy a whole lunch and like waste all your money and you just want to get a little snack, you just have a few dollars, you can get something healthy.
We're actually paired with our local pet group, which will bring in, I think, 1 or 2 dogs, and the session lasts 15 minutes. So we are able to get 4 kids in an hour.
So I bet that's pretty neat to watch. Do the dogs seem interested? Do they
They do.
listen?
They'll actually get to pet around on the dogs. They'll get to hug the dogs and get to read to them, make them a little more confident and comfortable.
And my current project is working on making a website for McCrory. If you look up McCrory, there really isn't much on there, like on Google if you look up McCrory. Okay, so our digital presence is not there. And so I'm working on making a website so you can go on there and check out anything you need from McCrory. And then after that, I'm going to link it to like a county website. That way you can like go and see what all towns are in the county.
Routing buses is working to make sure that our bus routes are the most efficient and that the students riding it are more comfortable, because right now we have some buses are almost empty and the other ones are way overpopulated. We have an Esri poster on our door, and I said, all right, Esri and ArcGIS, and I learned how to create it and learned how to use ArcGIS and the plan route feature with it.
We have So You Think You Can Bark, which is a dog adoption project in general. And they applied for a grant with Warner Brothers, and they won it. They got $500, and Warner Brothers came to film something. Wow. It's like Scooby-Doo good if you want to look that up later.
Michael Jordan may have been the biggest influencer in basketball. LeBron may have been the most hyped in basketball. But in my personal opinion, Kobe Bryant has the most wide skill range in basketball.
Okay.
He could do everything Jordan could do. A potentially not as good defender.
Planning is not anyone's favorite part, but it is totally important if we are going to have a successful project. After that, we start writing emails and calling people. We have to find out if our project idea could become a reality. Does the potential client want us to do what we thought of? And is there actually a person or business in the community that wants to help us? We try to get a face-to-face meeting with the clients and community partners.
We have done something in our community called Project Swing. And so what that is, we got a grant, wrote a grant, and got approved for it through Magnolia's A&P Commission, which is the advertisement and promotion. They get their funds from hotel tax. And we provided a wheelchair accessible swing set in our city park.
My project is called Microcontrolling CVI. And what we're doing is our client, Ollie, has CVI, cortical visual impairment. And what that means is that his eyes and brain are disconnected in a way to where he can't focus on a simple task.
Oh.
So what we are doing is we're using an Arduino Uno to make NeoPixel LED strips light up, and then also
use a Arduino powered speaker to help him regain focus and soothe at school.
The Lego table is designed as one of those tables you see the teachers pushing down the hallways. And we put Lego plates on the top and bottom. And on the very bottom row is just Legos that the special ed kids use to play with.
Okay.
So it's used for them to do math problems and things like that.
We're like recreating our park, and because it's like an old park, we haven't like really done anything, and everything's kind of spread out. So we're like recreating it and making it where everything's not as spread out. And we're still in like kind of making it right now, like still rebuilding, but it's almost finished.
That's cool.
My project is basically working with Ouachita Children's Center. It's here in town. It's basically an emergency shelter for at-risk teens in our community. They offer free classes to our community, and not many people know about them, but they range from anger management to parenting, and all you got to do is sign up, really. Well, I'm mostly, like I said, just kind of capture promotional videos. I made one regarding their Act 2, whole section of Act 2 programs, which is essentially just educational classes that they offer after school.
My project is I'm putting together a team build day at my school to like help all students get along better and to like get people used to like working with people they don't usually work with.
So talk a little bit about that. So what does that look like when you're working on a team build day?
Well, it goes like a lot of planning, and like we first had to like talk to my principal about it and get it approved and set a date, and like now I'm working with like our 4-H woman in our county, Miss Bullington, and like she's helping me like get like the games together for the day, and like we're working on the schedule.
ESA Dyslexia was a continuation of a project this year that we started about 3 years ago at our intermediate school. These boys made a tool called a line reader that they then produced and gave to students and teachers, and these teachers gave them to students with dyslexia and things like that so they could read more proficiently. They started this, and now they talk to many teacher groups as well as give the tool out and give packets to teachers to do with students.
We're trying to build a trail on our playground. It'll be a 1/4 mile, and it'll be open to the community. We don't have enough physical activity in our school district, and they have one park in Oak Grove, so I think it'll be great for the community.
I'm working on a project for downtown Little Rock. We are making an app called 501 Places to Run, and we are using Xcode and MIT to create the app. We are making an iOS and Samsung and Android app, and our community partners are Mr. Reddish from the Little Rock Chamber of Commerce and Mr. Holmstrom from the Downtown Partnership.
And my EAST project is that I'm making a virtual tour, a 360 tour of the school, and I'm making like a new up-to-date layout plan of it. So like the virtual reality tour is like for like new students and teachers who like are like thinking of putting their child in the school. They can watch the video.
So in my project, I used ArcGIS, which is a mapping program to map all the healthy eating locations, parks, and gyms in my town. And plus, so they can find the best ones, I also put the reviews for each one of the locations, as well as how many people reviewed it. And for gyms and healthy eating locations, I put how much it generally costs to go there and to buy things or have a gym membership.
We programmed with an Arduino Christmas lights, and we put them on a Christmas tree and gave them to a nursing home in our community. We got to sing with them.
Oh, good.
Oh, yeah. I bet they really enjoyed that.
Yeah. That's really cool. So are you going to do this every year now? You think this will be something that will be a legacy kind of thing that keeps going maybe?
Probably.
Even after you guys graduate and go off to college and then become president?
I hope so.
Our project we've been working on over the last several weeks is called SafeArc.
Okay.
And SafeArc, it was an idea we had based on Safe to Tell in Colorado. And Safe to Tell in Colorado is a system where students can anonymously report a threat that they might have heard around their school or from other students without actually being revealed as they're the person that reported it.
Yeah.
And so we wanted to implement that system in our state specifically. And so our plan was to create an app where students can download the app and they can actually report anonymously, I heard a threat about school shooting, something along those lines.